I was fortunate enough to play Nightingale last week for a few days in a preview event without limitations, and I learned a lot from that and made a lot of mistakes. So this video is about 5 things you should know before you play Nightingale, and don't make the same mistakes as I did because they can be quite damaging to your gameplay. Number 1, do not start this game on hard. I know how tempting it is, but believe me, the biggest problem this game has, or not the problem, it's just how this game works, is that everything has a gear score. You are starting out with a gear score of 10, and the enemy starts out with a gear score of 25. So you are already at a disadvantage, and even in the first area, you can only upgrade your gear score up to 20. So while you can defeat normal enemies without big issues, it plays more like Elden Ring or Dark Souls as at that point, but that's what a lot of people want. The biggest problem is the first boss, because the first boss locks into a permanent fire attack. It seems to be not bugged, but not really fully balanced right now. And that fire attack is just shredding you. So you're chucking health potions over health potions, and you never have the chance to really do damage to the boss, at least when you are alone. If you're playing with some friends, then I assume that will be possible, because in the meantime, while the boss is attacking one person and that person is just chucking health potions, the others can do damage. But while you are alone, even with an NPC, you do not have the time to attack the boss, and you have to defeat that boss. There is no way around it. If you want to progress in the game, this boss has to die, and you cannot just say, okay, that was dumb, let's reduce the difficulty. You cannot do that. You can only reduce the difficulty when you are going on a new map, and again, to go on a new map, you have to defeat the first boss. So if you want to play it on hard mode, do yourself a favor, start out on normal, make the first map on normal, and then crank up the difficulty, because at that point you can decide which difficulty you have and which difficulty you don't use. Number 2, speaking of the main quest, follow the main quest. I know it's an open world game. Everybody wants to do their own thing. You want to check out all the points of interests. You want to do some crafting. You want to build your base. That's all fine. But believe me, just follow the main quest at the beginning, because the game is unlocking a lot of blueprints and a lot of gameplay mechanics for you, and sometimes you can already prepare some items in your base, and you will end up with something which doesn't work, and you're wondering, why is this item not working? Or why is this workbench not working? What the hell is going on here? I did everything right. And the game is not explaining to you why that is, unfortunately. And the reason for that is, well, you haven't pushed the main quest. So when something doesn't work in your base, or you're missing something and you're wondering, where do I get that? Just push the main story. It's the easiest way to move forward. Which leads us to number 3. And that is where to get the tier 1 essence, aka the green essence. A lot of people will have this question in their mind. I will probably also make an extra video on top of that. But the answer to that is push the main quest. Basically, the next map, the next realm you will unlock after the first end boss will have the green essences / tier 1 essences. Because this is what I meant before, you will sometimes end up with moments where you can already upgrade your equipment to the next tier, but then the game is like, well, if you really want to upgrade your equipment to the next tier, you have to find green essences. And you cannot find green essences on your first island you are on. You have to go to the next realm and then kill some enemies there, do some point of interests, and this is where you will get the tier 1 essences, and also more importantly, where you will find the tier 1 vendor. So again, push the main story, go to the next realm, and then you will find them there. This leads us to number 4. Get an umbrella as quickly as possible. Wait, an umbrella? Are you serious? Why? The umbrella is doing a lot in this game. It does a lot of heavy lifting. It will protect you from a lot of environment damage, like hail or the sun burning at you in the desert area. You want to get an umbrella as quickly as possible. But not only that, the umbrella is also working as a parachute. So if you're jumping off a cliff and you realize, whoa, I will become a pancake when I land down there, you can just activate the umbrella and then you can glide down without any damage. So please get yourself an umbrella as quickly as possible. Speaking about equipment, that leads us to the fifth and last point in this game. I know everyone has like this one beloved weapon or this one very specific melee weapon. They feel like this is the right weapon for them. Please switch out weapons depending on the enemy type you're fighting against, because there are some huge damage differences on some of the enemies. Like the first boss, the Construct, is very vulnerable against hammers or pickaxes. Like I started out with an axe, I didn't do any damage, then I used the pickaxe and it was like, yeah, okay. And then I had a two-handed hammer and I did so much damage against that thing. Like, look out for enemies and what their damage type is and utilize it. It will make fights so much easier. But what I can recommend you is the axe which you are using to get your wood. Just use that quite often and it will mostly work. But again, look out for specific damage types. Also, one last thing. If you're going hunting, there is a hunting mechanic that when you are using a ranged weapon and hit the deer, wolf, boar, whatever, into the heart, they will die immediately. So try to do that. I know that's easier said than done, much easier said than done, but there is a mechanic where they immediately die when you hit the heart of said animal. So try to aim for that. But with that said, we are already at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was helpful. If you have still some questions or ideas, let me know down below in the comments. Leave a like, and also if you're new to the channel, you want to see more RP and survival games, please consider to subscribe. I would definitely appreciate that. With that said, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. Bye bye.